Hey everyone, and welcome to this week's episode of Cougar Central presented by Energy Ogre. I'm Sydney Gerbrecht, Eric Kelly to my right. Eric, a really successful weekend, really busy weekend for Cougar sports.
Yeah, as you mentioned, a lot of teams in action, and again, as you mentioned, not only were they in action, but they succeeded anywhere from the golf team to swimming and diving, Sid.
And that's true. Swimming and diving having an amazing championship weekend as swimming and diving won its first ever conference championship in program history. The Cougars put up 772 points, won 3 individual events, and broke 9 school records. Head coach Ryan Wakamerka, diving coach Bob Gunter, and senior diver Michaela Bowder earned conference honors to round out a championship weekend. Basketball dropped a heartbreaker to SMU on Saturday night with a 76-66 decision. Rob Gray led the Houston offense with 23 points, followed by Damian Dotson's 19 points to end a 5-game win streak for the Cougars. Women's basketball won a thriller against Tulsa 65-62 as the Cougars complete the season sweep of the Hurricanes. Senior Jacqueline Blake scored a career-high 22 points to lead the Cougar offense to victory. Also a busy weekend on the diamond for both the Cougar baseball and softball teams. Baseball began its 2017 campaign as well as you could ask for. The Cougars won all 3 of their games with 1 win over Nicholls State and 2 against Wake Forest. The UH offense was on fire over the 3 games, scoring at least 5 runs in every game and picking up at least 10 hits. Meanwhile, on the mound, Seth Romero pitched an absolute gem in the first game of the weekend as he gave up just 1 run over 6 innings and tallied 12 strikeouts. Softball picked up 2 wins this weekend, both run rule victories over Rhode Island and Incarnate Word in the first and last games of the Houston Classic. Tristan Melanson was a star on the mound against the Rams as she threw her first win as a collegiate athlete and only the 16th no-hitter in program history. UH also gave 2 valiant efforts against top 10 ranked Oklahoma as both games went into extra innings with the Cougars dropping 2 heartbreakers by a 7-5 and 2-1 margin. Shelby Miller continued her hot hitting as she hit 3 more home runs this weekend to push her total on the season to 7.
On the links, men's golf finished in 3rd place in the All-American Collegiate behind 2 top 15 teams in number 13 Baylor and number 1 Vanderbilt. 3 Cougars shot under par over the weekend, with junior Michael Paris leading the way at 4 under to finish in a tie for 7th place, and Matt Scobie and Pepito Gonzalez both finished at 1 under. Also on the golf course, sophomore Leonie Harm picked up the first individual title of her career at the Texas State Invitational. Then later that week at the All-State Sugar Bowl Intercollegiate, another great feat as Megan Totong hit a hole-in-one, only the 2nd one in program history, joining Courtney Ferguson. Finally, a tough weekend for tennis as the ladies dropped 2 tough matches in the state of Louisiana to Tulane and LSU. Sveta Dimitrova and Anna Glumak both came home with singles victories as Dimitrova picked up her 4th and Glumak the 3rd of the season. This week in Houston Athletics, another jam-packed week as every single day is filled with Cougar sports, including both baseball and softball hitting the road for tournaments, track and field heading to the American Indoor Championships, and tennis heading out to the West Coast for 2 clashes against Pac-12 teams, along with basketball playing some important conference games.
Well, that does it for this week's episode of Cougar Central. Be sure to follow UH Athletics on both Facebook and Twitter.
Don't forget to tune in next week for more UH Athletics updates, and as always, go Cougs!